Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd hop on tonight and have a chat about the Friday night game. It was quite a close one, not the best watch, especially as an Adelaide fan, but yeah, one of those games. I don't think the Crows really deserved to win based off how they were playing for the whole night. Yeah, there was one, umpire maybe decision that could have gone our way at the end. That makes a bit of a difference, and it would be nice to win a game like that, when you're not playing well. But at the same time, I don't think we can complain. I think we were playing pretty horrendous most of the game, and we're probably lucky that Essendon hadn't kicked away earlier. But we'll leave the game for what it was, and we'll go on to the Supercoach scores because that's what you're here for. So, yeah, look, we'll go to the Bombers because I think this one's probably the less interesting of the two. So Martin 114, yeah, kicked a late goal, which was really good. I mean, 2 free kicks against didn't help him, and he still was able to get a 114. So you'd be happy enough with that score. He's as a D6, if that's what he ends up as, you'll be pretty happy to have him. Yeah, not his best game, but still was able to put up a good score. Had 100 last week, 114 this week at his 3-round average would be in the 115 range. So anyone who held on to him, anyone who got him in, you'd be happy enough with a 114. Probably the one I was a little bit less happy about was Zach Merritt in the end going 109. He was on fire in the first half, and then I don't know what happened. He just kind of faded out a little bit, and Crows were able to get a bit more of the ball. And if it wasn't for a late goal that Merritt kicked in, probably one of the it was early in the fourth, but still was like a very meaningful goal. He probably wouldn't have been even able to get to 109, but in the end, that's what good players do. They find a way to pop up at the right time, and yeah, getting the 109. You're probably not the happiest as a person who's brought him in, because he's going to go down a little bit of money, but at the same time, his run coming up, it looks insane. And I'm thinking about getting him in if it wasn't for another player. But that we'll talk about. But yeah, very interesting to see. The rest for Port. So if you have McGrath, there's possibility some people have him. I don't know if Durham was even. Yeah, Durham. Not really much to talk about there. I feel like Redmond had a really big last quarter because I think his scoring was pretty bad. And then going down from there, there's not really much to talk about because a lot of these players aren't really relevant to our teams. I guess Sardis, I mean, with the 28 as well, let's have a look at his break even, because he could be someone maybe if he starts to get actual game time that we look to get. So his break even is 32, so he's going to go down money. Probably going to go down, 2 or 3K, so not much. But if he continues to play sub, we could see him go under sub 200, which would be pretty tasty, because I think there was a lot of back end scaling in this game, which helped him out coming on later. But yeah, that's about it for the Bombers. Yeah, in draft, you'd be happy with McGrath. Parrish just seems to keep struggling. He's already sorry, I did say that was all, but then I forgot there was Parrish. He just seems to be really struggling this year. I think he might be injured. Yeah, he's going to lose massive money. What he was projected was 84, and I think he went. Did he go that? Yeah, he went 84, so we know he's going to go down 42K, which will see him close to 500, and that's a really good price for Parrish. But it's hard to choose him based on how he's playing right now. Like he doesn't look like he's really damaging the game. Even this score's pumped up by a goal. He had 1 goal too, so it could have been better, I guess. And he still had 23 disposals, but it's not the Parrish we saw last year, who was going on runs of averaging 120. And it just feels like he must be injured, because he's just he's such a ball magnet previous years, but now really not seeing much of that. Is there anyone else interesting here? Just looking at the team, I thought that what's his name? What's Davey Jr. worth? He would be 208. Is he going down money? Yeah, he's going to go. Ooh, the David Jr. is going down. He is what he scored 49. I think that he'll keep playing because there was quite a few pressure acts he got. He scored at 24. He's going down 20, so he'd be like 190, which isn't the worst. But like, you know, it's kind of an option as a downgrade if he keeps going down, if he does start to find some form. Who was the F forward that looked all right from just what I saw? Kicked a few goals. Caldwell. Oh, what's his name? Jones. Yeah, Jones looked good. What's he worth? I thought he was one that people kind of looked at. Was he like? He's 293, so it was more for one for last week. Oh shit, he's gone up like. Oh no, he's gone up 49. So yeah, if you did have him at 240, you wouldn't be too annoyed. But there's only like 500 teams that have him. He's 90 last week, 80 this week. Isn't the worst, and he'll probably make. He'll probably make another 30k there, so getting you close to 100k. But then moving on to the Crows, so Dawson. He was just really, really good early. Like 2 goals. You know, he was very damaging in the first half. He kind of faded out a little bit at the end. He took some good marks and stuff. Probably, you know, contested possessions really pumped him up. He finally got this efficiency up a bit, like, you know, he's up to 71%. So that's really all helped. And I think he was just so far ahead that the scaling just kept pumping him. You know, 9 tackles helps as well. But 168, yeah, really rough if you left him. I was kind of hoping he'd, you know, I talked about him 2 weeks ago and said, you know, I'd like to get him this week. But then I watched last week and I was like, oh, he looks out of sorts. I want to see him, you know, get a game under his belt. I didn't think he'd go 170 though. I thought, oh, you know, 168. I thought he might go, you know, 130, 140. And then that's like, okay, we're seeing a turn. And at 130, he was only going to go up 1 or 2K. But at 168, he's probably going to be worth 532. Which is still within range, but I do like the run. You know, he always shows up against Port. North, they need a win, and it is away, so I feel like he's going to stand up. Brisbane's a bit hard, but then he's got Collingwood, West Coast, you know, Hawthorn, Richmond. They all give him, you know, they give midfielders quite a decent score. Even Sydney's like, you know, the revenge game. So, you know, his price was going to go to 420 based on, you know, 80s. And now it's, well, there was 169 in here against Hawthorn, but now it looks like it's going to go back up. So, even after the Sydney game, like, if it wasn't for this Brisbane game, it's not the worst run home. Like St Kilda, Essendon again, Hawthorn. And they'll be looking for blood in that Essendon game, I think. Geelong, I mean, that's a harder one, but like Bulldogs have been easy-ish to score off of for if he does go back a bit more, and then Port Adelaide and Sydney to close out. So I do like it at the price, and that's what it's about, picking these players when they're at their lows, and making a bit more money that way. But yeah, a good bounce back. If you held him, you're really happy. If you drained him out this week, it's a bit unlucky, but yeah, it's hard, you know. I was off him after last week. He looked out of sorts, and yeah, it's just a bit hard. Mitch Hinge now with another good score, but I think he's a mid. He's not defender. He might get defense. Oh no, he's just defense. You wouldn't, you know, I don't think Hinge is the worst because he gets a lot of kickouts, and you know he's running off the back, especially with no Malira. So I don't mind Hinge, but I don't think he's going to be very popular. But still, what's he going at? I mean, he's going at, you know, he's going at 99. And if we're saying Nas was a pickup that we thought was all right, you know, 516, you know, his 5 rounds 103. It's only 4 points better. You know, they're around the same range of play, and I would say that Hinge has probably got more bounds to actually carry the ball and have it on his own terms whereas NWM's sharing with Bonner and Hill. So anyway. One to think about. Saligo is really good. I think, next year he could be one of those ones we look at. It's kind of annoying because he's pumping now. So he's probably going to be like 550, 600 and you won't look at him. But he could break out again next year and really start to get those high 100s. Rankin, very lucky to get this score. Jesus Christ, I was watching him and he was on 29 at 3/4 time, and then he went pumped 66 in the last quarter. And it was, the first 3/4, the Crows were missing all their kicks to him. Like, there was one kick where he was free in the middle, he could run with it and hit someone in the 50, but instead it went over his head. The ball was just on the opposite side. I will say to him at contest, I will say one thing. You can't be in the media saying how you want to be the best player and stuff, and then like your effort sometimes, when it's not, in the fourth quarter, he puts in a lot of effort and I won't take that away from him. But in the first, second and third, there was times where, his player would run forward, like when Parrish kicked his goal and just be free because Rankin let him go. Or, the ball will go one side. And if he kept with the contest, he could get a tackle or like have a bit of pressure on, whereas then he's too far off by the time he figures out, oh shit, I could get there. And I just think if you're going to be, there was a lot of media which didn't really help this because like Essendon we're putting a tag on him. They had Durham playing pretty hard on him when he was in the middle, and Caldwell. But like, yeah, if you got to show, and when he's only had 12 disposals and kicked one goal and pumped up to 100, an 85 off 81 or 83% efficiency. Clearances, he did get 5 clearances and 10 contested possessions do help. Pretty much all of his possessions were contested. But like, yeah, this is all from the last quarter, really, and that one goal that he picked up and snapped out of it. That's the thing about Rankin. He only needs that one little bit to be able to get there and shine. But yeah, very very lucky to get this score. Very happy, and I was like saying, at least it's a best 18 week, but hopefully against North he can really, really pump out a good score. This might keep people away from him though, which wouldn't be too bad. Keane 75, so yeah. If you brought him in, I guess that's like an average score. I don't know how much money he's making still, but he's 378, so he's made 100k, and he's probably going to go up another 8k, so you get just about your 100k. Probably time to jump off him, I would say. Not sure about what the defender rookies look like, but I don't think there was much. There's Bigua, and there's another North player, wasn't there? Unsure. Laird, so yeah, he's losing money now. He'd be losing a bit surely. Lairdy 610, so that's gonna, he's gonna lose 40k, so he's gonna be 570. So if we see a turnaround in these players, but I think for Laird, this is the hard thing, is I think for like Laird, he's kind of not getting the mid-time he was getting because they're putting Saligo and the Rankin in there, whereas Dawson's still going to get in there a bit, I think, because he's the leader, whereas Laird, they're going to just push around. So, an interesting one. I mean, his price is obviously held a bit better than Dawson's is up to now, so it could be that their scores, shift each week, but it could be one to look at if he gets to low 500s. Probably definitely worth a look because he can turn that around, especially if the Crows get on the roll again. Otherwise, looking at this, not much else. Hamill was actually an alright price rookie, but that 44 is not really going to do. Barry was subbed and looks like he's done his ankle. Maybe we get a rookie here. Maybe a Dowling or something gets a call up because the Crows have getting to be an extensive list of injuries at the moment. And Nankervis looked all right, but I'm assuming he's going to be like 250 after today's game, maybe, and it's just not really worth the price. He's going to be like 270, so it's probably not really worth it. And we'll just look at Hamill. Ham will be going up money. But I might not. Oh no, he goes up next week. Is it? Yeah. So you could get him. I just don't know. He hasn't really been able to get a lot of the ball. He did show some good things. There was one contest where he ran through past Goldstein and it saved a goal and led to one the other way. So I think he'll keep his spot. And I mean, it's not like the Crows can really move many into it anyway with all the injuries. But anyway, yeah, that's probably everyone of interest. And from there, we'll just have a quick look at the teams. So what was locked in. So we've already know these Friday, Saturday games. Well, not. What do we got here? All right. So Sunday. Gold Coast. They didn't really make any changes. Had a lot in. So Graham is going to get a run and go up some money this week, which is good. Sexton back into the side lineup, but he is the emergency. Hopefully Graham is not the sub. Surely it's like a Rogers or something, seeing as he's new and he's first gamer. And Dimmer has done this before. And Sydney Roberts is playing, which I wasn't, I didn't think he wouldn't. He's been playing too well to not be playing. So, yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary here. And I think the one that was a bit interesting is that, and it's actually good for me, is Lazaro is playing, which is good because I just didn't really see the point of playing Greenwood as a future piece. And I'm glad that Clarko did actually make note of the fact that Lazaro played one less quarter than a lot of these guys, and he looked pretty decent, to be honest, which is good to see that he's getting a game. I can get some more money out of him because he's a bit of a pod rookie, and if he could spark a game, that would be brilliant, especially against Hawthorn. And the other big thing is Colby is playing as well, so going to go down money, but it's good to know that the ribs aren't too huge a problem. Obviously, Meek versus Sherry, going to be watching with bated breath because it's going to be the last game of the round, and it'd be nice to see Meek go a bigger score. I did read something today saying Mitchell discussed that they struggle with the ruck rule on the radio in the first few weeks, and they've been doing a lot to review that, and maybe that was part of why Meek was brought in, a bit of more physical presence than what Reeves potentially is, who's, I think, he's tall but maybe a bit skinnier. But I don't suppose a lot of people will be watching this game because it's a bit of a game of the wooden spoon, really. But yeah, one of these teams will probably leave with a win. Possibly a draw. But yeah, a lot of interesting players to watch in this, like Comben, Nguyen, Fisher, LDU. Can he get back to form? Power. This starts with Phillips coming in because I feel like that means Power is going to lose CBAs. Lazaro's in. Drew's playing. McKercher. What's Drury worth? I think he's like 200. Or did he didn't get a? Yeah, he never got his. He was 102 last year, wasn't he? So yeah, Drury. There's a bit to watch here. And Drew's a forward rookie. And then even on the Hawthorn side, you've got obviously Sarong would be cheap, wouldn't he? Jai Sarong, I'm pretty sure he's 123k, 174k. He played a game? No. So Sarong, possibly a defender rookie we've got. And then you've got guys like Meek. Ramson's emergency. So if you went for him, which I don't think many did early, you'd be a bit annoyed with that. But then Hustlewaite's getting a full game, so it'd be good to see how he goes. D'Ambrosio, after his good game last week, we want to see some more kickouts. So as far as Supercoach goes, there's a bit to watch here. So that's always good. Anyway, this is the team as it is. The plan is to take Bonds VC, unless, we really need a good captain score because, Heaney or someone like that goes really big. Some have taken Dawson, but he's only 10% owned, so I'm not really fussed about that. But like if Sarong or Green and a lot of people on them goes big, Sheasel, that last game is probably pretty tempting as well. So we'll see what happens there. But pretty happy with the scores. I mean, I'm always happy with an 80 when you plays on 29 3/4 time. So, and Martin played a good game as well. So otherwise, not much else to talk here. Probably next video will be the review unless I get time to do some more conferences. But otherwise, we'll leave it at that. Hopefully your round started off well. And we'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.